So to say that atheism is not an ideology is to say the same thing as not caring about hygiene, education, law and order, and all those other things that we could possibly mention.
That is just wrong, considering that atheism doesn't make any other stipulations other than whether or not somebody believes in a God. I don't see how it can be an ideology, but I'm sure he's about to edify us on this particular point.
The fact is, a world without God is a world without foundation. It is ultimately a world where we lose everything that is important to us.
How do we lose everything that's important to us? I mean, I feel like he might explain during this thing, but I just don't understand how we lose everything if God isn't there to ground shit, which I don't even know how God grounds shit now. Like the table right here. I don't know how God is a factor in this table. I mean, he definitely didn't build this shit. I did. You know how I know? Because I remember fucking doing it. I put the leg on the wrong end, so I had to take that shit off and switch ends and everything like that. Also had to figure out how to make it go up and down so that it was a stand-up sit-down desk. I don't see God in that. God didn't come down and help me do it. Jesus didn't appear anywhere in his fucking flip-flops and his dress and help me build this thing, okay? KC help. Are you God? She's not God. She's too good of a person.
Hi, I'm Barak Lurie, and welcome to the Barak Lurie Show. As we've discussed before, we are talking about the dangers of atheism. But most importantly, I want to kind of get something out of the way right now. The biggest critique I've ever received for my books, Atheism Kills and now Atheism Destroys, is that I'm arguing that atheism is an ideology. Most atheists will say, "What are you talking about, Mr. Lurie? Atheism is not an ideology. It simply means that I don't believe in God. You can believe what you want to believe, but I, the atheist, don't want to believe your nonsense. And therefore, what's the big deal?"
I agree. I don't know what the big deal is, that I just simply don't believe in your God. And it seems like he understands the atheist position. So there's no reason for him to misrepresent it, right? I don't understand why they have to willfully misrepresent atheism when they fully know what our position is. We're not convinced by it, and that's not hurting you. Me not believing in your God is not hurting you. Me not being convinced by your bad logic isn't hurting you. And I definitely denounce anybody that is a bit bigoted or throws shit in your face because they disagree with you. So, yeah, I'm glad that he understands the atheist position and how it's just that we're not convinced by his bad arguments. Let's see where he goes with it, though.
That attitude is wrong. It is, in fact, an ideology.
Well, fuck me! That is just wrong, considering that atheism doesn't make any other stipulations other than whether or not somebody believes in a God. I don't see how it can be an ideology, but I'm sure he's about to edify us on this particular point.
To say that atheism is not an ideology because you don't believe in God is like saying you don't believe in hygiene, and therefore there are no consequences that flow from that. Of course there are. There are many things that are ideologies.
Well, so before he gets into whatever else is an ideology, I feel like that's a really bad analogy here, and here's why. We can scientifically detect fucking germs, okay? We can tell that germs exist. We can observe them through a microscope. We've definitely been able to run scientific experiments that show how germs spread. So atheism is not at all not believing in hygiene, because there's literally no evidence that proves God, like looking through a microscope and physically fucking seeing bacteria, okay? There's no evidence out there like that. So it's a bad analogy because we can verify that good hygiene produces good health, and good hygiene is the best way to live, despite what some people in Alabama may think. Well, let's be serious. America is kind of the dipshit on the stage right now as far as hygiene goes, because we don't know how fucking contagious diseases work.
That people accept as ideologies. You can also say, I don't believe in rearing children correctly or raising them whatsoever. but that also has its consequences.
We can see the real effects of that. We have scientific studies that study that very thing. So, I mean, we can quantify that. Can you quantify God? Is there some way to quantify God's effects on our reality? I don't understand how you would do that, considering that nothing in this reality can securely be tied to God and God doing it, unless that you've got some, evidence that you're just holding back, before you get that Nobel Prize, or before you can get that Nobel Prize. All of these examples he seems to be going through are totally different when concerned with God, because we can quantify germs and good health or good hygiene. We can quantify what being a good parent is about. Maybe we can't describe being a good parent as monolithically as fucking germs, but we can definitely quantify it. We could definitely analyze it and study it. Your analogies are shit, Barak.
So to say that atheism is not an ideology with its own precepts and leaders and followers, to say that is to say the same thing as not caring about hygiene, education, law and order, and all those other things that we could possibly mention.
I don't see how, mainly because your analogies failed earlier. So it really just kind of makes it seem like you're just, speculating about this with no actual evidential data to back it up. And I also don't understand how or why you think that the evidence for God is quantifiable in the same way that everything that you just listed is quantifiable. It just kind of seems like you cannot see past your own particular Christian bias, and you just think that we're the delusional ones when I can assure you we're not.
The fact is, a world without God is a world without foundation. It is ultimately a world where we lose everything that is important to us.
How do we lose everything that's important to us? And how is our world, quote unquote, without foundation? What does it even mean for this reality to have a foundation like that? I have no fucking clue. But also, I'm wondering what which he's not going to watch this video, let's be honest. But if you're a Christian out there and you happen to have made it all the way through to this point, what evidence do you think makes God the foundation for reality? Because all I hear is just a blanket statement that speculates about God being the foundation without providing evidence that shows that he's the foundation. Of course, first you got to prove that he exists in order for him to be the foundation, but that's kind of my point. I don't see anything that connects God to reality. And so wouldn't it be irrational for me to believe in that God, even though I don't see the evidence that supports his existence or supports the idea that he's the foundation? Also, I don't understand how we lose everything without God. I don't believe in God, and I don't think that God has ever existed. I still am happy, and I'm still sad on occasion. I still experience life exactly the same way, minus all of the fucking guilt and toxic shame that I forced on myself, all of that shit that I had taught to me through religion. I just don't have that kind of burden anymore. And I'm actually much happier for it. So I don't see the benefit that God gives me. I'm not saying that God isn't a benefit for anybody, because obviously people find benefit in God. I just don't see the connection between God and reality. So for me to be rational, I shouldn't believe in that God.
That is what we will be focusing on, and we will be discussing how atheism destroys one bit at a time.
You know what is really destructive to religious belief? Looking for evidence, looking to verify anything that's in the Bible, looking to verify anything that the Bible says about God. Looking for evidence is toxic to religion. That's the thing that I guess really affects religious belief, if that's even what he's talking about here, because he apparently thinks he needs God in order to be happy, or to drive a fucking car, or for it to rain. He thinks God, at least in the very little bit that he has communicated here, with God being the foundation of everything, it seems like he would agree God makes it rain. And that's that's mind blowing to me that there are still people out there that are like, God makes it rain. He throws thunderbolts with his dick. And instead of just relying on God as an explanation, you either just simply don't know and you try to figure it out, or if we haven't figured it out yet, you're waiting for somebody else to figure it out. And until that point, you just simply don't know. I don't think that you need an absolute answer for everything. I think that you could be patient and wait.
And how we must always move forward for the greater betterment of our society by embracing God back into the Town Hall Center. I'm Barak Lurie.
Embracing God back into the Town Hall Center? Like, is he talking about like a literal town hall? Did like somebody take some kind of display out of your local town hall or something there, Barak Lurie? I'm kind of curious, because that seems to be a very oddly specific like thing to complain about. Oh, in the public, it was a proverbial town hall? Maybe it was proverbial. So I don't know. That's going to be it for Barak Lurie tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed him. It's always a pleasure to respond to fucking Barak Lurie. Atheism is not an ideology. He didn't even define what he meant by ideology. And he compared it to hygiene and, shit, I forgot the second one. He used bad analogies to suggest that atheism is an ideology. Hell, not even hygiene is an ideology. Let's see. Hold on. I should have defined this during the video, but let's see. Define ideology. Ideology, a system of ideas and ideals, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy. How does any of the examples that he brought up there evidence of that? I don't understand how it is. I don't know. Anyways, all in all, I found both of Barak's videos to be ridiculous. I think that Barak is just a bigoted Christian that doesn't like atheists, or atheism for that matter. He's doing a lot of projecting in his videos, and it's very sad to watch. Like, I know that a lot of people get mad and they want to scream or yell or throw dog shit at his feet, but I just feel sorry for him, because that's a person that irrationally hates a group of people for literally no reason other than they're just different than him. And I just feel sad. That's going to be it for our stream tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments down below. What did you think about both of these videos? About atheists being scared of God or atheism being an ideology? Let me know down below in the comments or in the live chat right now. While you're doing that though, why don't you smash that like button if you haven't already smashed it, and subscribe so that you can talk shit in the next live stream. I welcome it. KC will fuck you up, by the way, if you talk shit in the chat. I'm just saying. Anyways, y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you heathens on Monday. Bye, everybody. Bye, heathens.